It's 10 o'clock, and you are watching KCCI, Channel 8, Des Moines. This is News Channel 8.
Remember just 2 weeks ago, twins from Omaha are discovered in bitterly cold temperatures there. They had wandered away from home. They nearly froze to death. Well, early this morning, it happened again, but this time in Des Moines. A little Des Moines girl was found alone in the front yard of this house. She was discovered in the cold without a coat, shoes, or stockings on. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Oswald.
And I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick. We'll get to that story about that little girl in just a minute, but first some breaking news to report out of Ottumwa. There's been an explosion at the Excel pork processing plant. It happened around 7 o'clock tonight, and fire and rescue crews are still on the scene right now.
And what we know now is that there was an explosion and a fire. Traffic around the plant has been rerouted, and it now appears that no one was injured. Now, Tom Palin of radio station KLEE in Ottumwa is live via the telephone from the fire scene right now. And Tom, thanks for joining us. Is the fire still burning?
Yeah, the fire is still burning, Steve, and we talked with a gentleman who used to work at the plant back when it was a Hormel hog processing plant, and he told us that the fire looks like it's coming from the engine room of the plant, which is where the motors drive the compressors that cool the entire plant. The officials on the scene have not been available for any comment yet. However, we do know from scanner traffic that one of the concerns they have tonight is the amount of anhydrous ammonia that is used in the plant for cooling. We also talked with the Poison Control Center tonight, who told us that anhydrous ammonia can cause burning if it's inhaled in large concentrated amounts. They are not real worried about that at this point, and the Ottumwa Fire Department has had offers from several area fire departments to come in and help them battle the blaze, but they feel that they have it under control at this time. They do have all of the Ottumwa units out, and they're fighting the fire from the top via snorkels and ladder trucks at this time.
That chemical you're talking about is fairly dangerous. Have they started evacuating, or is that not necessary?
No, they said that they are not intending at this time to evacuate any of the homes in the area. They have advised people in the area, though, that it would be safest to stay in their homes. Again, they say that the anhydrous ammonia is only dangerous in very large quantities, and they had indicated that very little of that had escaped this evening before it was contained.
Thanks, Tom. We appreciate your report. That's Tom Palin. He's with radio station KLEE in Ottumwa. News Channel 8 does have a crew on the way to Ottumwa, and we will have full details on News Channel 8 tomorrow morning.
And now our other top story tonight. A 2-year-old Des Moines girl was found this morning alone in the cold and snow. She was not wearing a coat, shoes, or stockings. Now, she was found in the front yard of this home. A passerby noticed the child. Police say the child was found here about 6:30 this morning. They believe the child may have simply wandered away from home. Well, police say the child's mother had left the girl and 3 other siblings in this apartment about 2 this morning. They're not sure just how long the child had actually been outside. A neighbor explains how the little girl was spotted.
A man stopped her as she was driving and told her that he had a little girl freezing to death with no shoes, no socks, no coat, nothing on, and would she take her to the hospital? And so my girlfriend picked her up, put her in the car, wrapped her up in a coat, and took her to Mercy.
Now, it's not clear what the child's condition is this evening, but she is believed to be still hospitalized. The Des Moines police officer who worked on this case this morning said the child appeared to have a severe case of frostbite on her feet. News Channel 8, of course, will continue to follow this story for you tomorrow.
Omaha twins who did the same thing are getting better on the double. Doctors say Jennifer and Courtney Warchek will probably get to keep their fingers. They weren't so sure last week when the twins wandered away from home without their coats on. The girls got severe frostbite. While their frozen fingers do look to be in the clear, their feet are still in danger.
A University of Northern Iowa professor is dead after running into a snowplow this weekend. 61-year-old George Hoffman was apparently driving on Highway 14 west of Cedar Falls. The snowplow was clearing snow off the shoulder when Hoffman apparently ran into the back of it. The plow driver, we understand, was not injured.
That snow is white gold for plow drivers. Sledders place great value on it as well. Both groups should be pretty happy with today's snowfall. Central Iowa saw several inches of snow by mid-morning. Question now is more on the way? And there is one person who can answer that question.
That's right, and I think his name is Curtis. The last name is coming to me.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a little more light snow on the way. Doesn't look to be too significant, mainly a dusting here. Regional Doppler, most of the snow off to the east of us, but you'll notice out to the west we're starting to get more radar returns, and we are expecting that snow to push in here for the overnight hour. Low temperatures tonight, we fall down to about 4 degrees. For tomorrow, snow early, a high temperature of about 8, but really falling temperatures throughout the afternoon. Strong north winds are going to blow the snow about, and by tomorrow night we'll probably have a wind chill advisory for dangerous wind chills. So after the snow, here comes the cold once again.
Once again.
Thank you. Well, a fight turned into a shootout at a northeast Des Moines bar early this morning.
And one man is hospitalized with a gunshot wound to his chest. News Channel 8's Todd Mangle reports the gunman is still on the loose.
The fight broke out on the Baby O's dance floor shortly before closing time. A few minutes later, one man started firing his gun. As 60 patrons scattered for cover, the suspect fired several shots. One of the bullets hit 23-year-old Killian Alvin in the chest.
Des Moines police say they're not sure where the shot came from that injured Alvin. Witnesses say shots were fired both inside and outside the bar early this morning, and they say one of those shots went through the window here, and that may have injured the victim.
Police say Alvin is in serious condition at a Des Moines hospital. They also say the suspect in the shooting is black, 6'1", with a shaved head. Some witnesses say the fight and the shooting were motivated by some racist remarks made in the bar, but police are not yet able to confirm that. Todd Mangle, News Channel 8.
A witness also says the bartender was also injured by flying glass during that gunfight. His injuries are believed to be minor.
A Drake University student is in fair condition tonight. He was stabbed early this morning at a fraternity party. The stabbing happened here at the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity house. The friend had a party last night, apparently. After it ended, some unwelcome guests came into the house, and that's when a fight started, and someone was stabbed on the fraternity front porch. Now, the person's name is William Harris, Michael William Harris. He is 21. Harris is recovering tonight from stab wounds to his shoulder, back, and neck, and so far no one has been arrested in this case.
Firefighters say they're not ruling out arson for an early morning fire on Des Moines' northeast side. No one was home at the time. The homeowner says the fire may have been set on purpose. The Taylor Township Fire Department will have investigators checking out that theory tomorrow. And 4 people were rescued from a burning apartment building in Waterloo. An adult and 3 kids were standing on a 3rd-floor balcony waiting for help when firefighters got there and helped them out. The fire started in the kitchen, and there was extensive smoke damage on the 3rd floor of the building.
A number of Green Bay Packer fans are really steamed tonight. Their team won the Super Bowl, so what do they have to be angry about? Well, they didn't make it to watch the game. This Midwest Express plane was heading from Denver to Milwaukee. It apparently blew a tire, and it had to make an emergency landing in Omaha. A plane load of Packer fans tried to make the best of it.
I really want to be watching the game. I want to be at home with my family watching the game. But here we are in Omaha.
You can tell it's a score, but it's not the same thing when you kind of been rooting for your team the whole season, and now you're going to miss that part of the game.
Now, the Packer fans took over the airport bars to watch the game, hoping their plane would be fixed in time to get them home for the second half.
If you were here, you weren't in Green Bay either. But for cheeseheads in central Iowa, victory tastes like cheddar. At this bar in West Des Moines, Packer fans were watching the game and loving every minute of it. Some called Super Bowl XXXI one of the best games in years. Others called it that because their team came home champs.
I'm a Packer fan, true to heart. We need the Packers to win big time.
And to win big they did, 35-21 against New England. Jason Elliott has all the highlights and a reaction from the teams coming up a little bit later.
Super Sunday taking on a whole new meeting at the Des Moines airport today as families packed in to patriotically welcome the guard home.
And the Northwest provides the latest news in the Olympic bombing.
You are watching News Channel 8, Iowa's news leader. With Steve Oswald, Deirdre Fitzpatrick, meteorologist Curtis Gertz, and Jason Elliott. This is News Channel 8. You're watching News Channel 8, Central Iowa's #1 news.
They say when it rains, it pours.
And it won't stop pouring on the West Coast. California is soaked, saturated, and swollen. Locals are making about as much progress as this car. It's too late to lay sandbags. Northern California's rivers just can't take anymore. But more is what's on the way. It should be raining tonight.
Now, rain isn't the only thing triggering problems in that area. Someone set off a bomb outside of a bank. It damaged 3 teller machines, but hurt no one. It's the second bomb in as many days.
Did these bank bombers in Spokane set off the Olympic Park bombing? A Spokane newspaper says yes. Olympic investigators won't say for sure, but they do say that Northwesterners are not leading suspects.
So my legs, he's now firmly, and then he shook me around. It felt like a big bear hug around my legs, around my lower legs.
An Australian man saw the eye of a tiger shark this weekend, and then the jaws and the teeth too. Yes, you're beginning to get the picture now. Now his leg is a picture of pain. Derek Burrows has some deep cuts to recover from. He also has a honeymoon to finish. He got married yesterday. What a present, huh?
What rotten luck.
The marriage or the shark?
Well, let's hope just the shark.
Well, at least he doesn't have a central Iowa forecast to worry about.
That's true.
No, we do have some light snow on the way and cold temperatures once again. We'll finish out our January with another cold snap, your detailed forecast. Up next.
Meteorologist Curtis Gertz has been awarded the National Weather Association Seal of Approval for excellence in television weathercasting. This News Channel 8 weather forecast is sponsored by Stivers Lincoln Mercury.
Welcome back, everyone, on this Super Bowl Sunday. Hope the snow early on today did not cause you any transportation problems. A little snow on the way for your morning commute, but mainly looks to be a dusting. Temperature right now 6 degrees, cloudy skies. Northeast winds at 6 miles per hour. The wind chill just below zero at a -2. The dew point 2 degrees, relative humidity 83%, and the barometer 30.15, and it is steady. In case you weren't watching Super Bowl, Packers win, Packers win, Packers win. I took a trip down to Kiln, Mississippi earlier this year, and if you're a Packer fan, that's Brett Favre's hometown. Try to guess what's in the little glass cooler there. I'm from Milwaukee, but it's just a pop, folks. And if you're ever headed down to Kiln, Mississippi, nice little restaurant in the northeast corner as you go right through the only stoplight in town called the Rooster. They got those po' boy sandwiches, big shrimp one, huge thing. Back to the weather. Snowfall today. Packers win. Packers win. 2.5 inches at Lakeview. We had 2.5 inches here in Des Moines. 4 to 5 inches east and southeast of the metro. 3 inches down in Van Wert and 2.5 inches in Guthrie Center. Temperatures across the state right now: 9 in Decorah, 9 in Ottumwa, 14 in Burlington, 0 in Fort Dodge, 1 in Spencer. The high today, our present temperature, 6 degrees. The low at 5 degrees below zero. Across central Iowa this hour, everybody kind of hanging around the single digits except for Storm Lake. They're at 4 below. 5 in Carroll, 4 in Boone, 6 in Ames, 7 in Marshalltown, 6 in Newton, and 6 degrees in Sheridan. Satellite picture of the clouds associated with that first burst of snow. Now we have more moisture moving in. Some of this is going to be lifted out in front of an area of high pressure, cold high pressure all the way from the north, and that is going to kick up some snow showers. Take a look at regional Doppler right now. There's the snow to the east. We're starting to see more returns off to our west and off to the northwest, and this snow is going to slide across the state tonight. Right now, it looks to be mainly a dusting with more significant snow up to the north and through Minnesota, and actually some snow developing down through central and southern parts of Missouri that could mix with some freezing rain. So for tonight, there's the snow showers. Frontal system off to the west of us. Here comes the high pressure. Out in front of it, we have the snow moves on out. Along with the high pressure and the low pressure, we're going to get some very strong winds by tomorrow afternoon. That is going to bring in colder temperatures, also blow the snow about. So by tomorrow night, for your commute, it's going to be windy and snowy with dangerous wind chills. Our forecast, though, for your Super Bowl Sunday night goes like this. Light snow developing out there, low at 4, east winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for your Monday, again, snow early on, then tapering off, but then the wind will pick up the snow. A high at 8, but with the north winds at 15 to 25 by tomorrow afternoon, wind chills as cold as 40 below. Tomorrow night, very cold, a low at a -9. And then for your Tuesday, sunny and cold, a high at 7. Here's the 5-day forecast. Wednesday, snow showers with the warm-up, 20 and 7, 15 and 1 on Thursday, and Friday, well, just 18 and 5.
Do you have any more vacation pictures?
Oh, plenty. You guys know I always say I've been everywhere. Well, I've been to Kiln, so.
You would have to ask him. I mean,
I'll bring him next Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll do my trip to Montana.
All right.
In the home movies, too. Okay. Thanks, Curtis.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Well, they've been gone for 8 months.
Up next, you'll see an emotional homecoming and maybe a few pictures for some Iowa troops and their families.
Closed captioning at News Channel 8 is brought to you as a public service by KCCI and the cardiologists, surgeons, and staff at the Iowa Heart Center.
There were plenty of smiles, hugs, and some happy tears at the Des Moines airport tonight.
135th Affairs Detachment returned home today after 8 long months in Europe. Lisa Molina was there for the homecoming, and she's now joining us live in the newsroom.
Deirdre, I tell you, it's a day that couldn't have come soon enough for the families. After months of being apart, tonight they are all back with their loved ones.
My goodness, you got tall, honey.
As each soldier got off the plane, the homecoming crowd was ready with a welcome. With hugs and kisses, banners and balloons, the 10 soldiers knew they were home. Most agreed the 8 months away changed not only the soldiers in some way, but the family members that had to stay behind.
Hey, baby. How you?
Suddenly you're a single parent and you deal with all the things that before you dealt with as partners. And it's an experience that I wouldn't want to do again, but...
Glad to be back.
With their mission complete, they returned with stories to tell and experiences they will never forget.
One of the pluses is the chance or opportunity to get to travel and see much of Europe. That's one of the very positive aspects.
But the experiences still didn't help the time go by any faster.
Seemed like a long time.
We talked to one sergeant who says he missed his family here in Iowa and something else.
They have really good bakeries over there, but they don't make cinnamon rolls the way we make them.
So the next few days will be filled with family, friends, food, and the peaceful feeling that the 135th Public Affairs Detachment is home, safe and sound. The detachment will have one more official welcome with an award ceremony, and they're planning that in early March.
Probably a few cinnamon rolls by the sound of it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa.
Sounds good to me. Well, the Green Bay Packers have won their first Super Bowl since 1968.
And how about quarterback Brett Favre doing his part today? Jason Elliott has all the highlights coming up next.
Pictures from Des Moines, Green Bay Packer fans taking in today's Super Bowl, as you can tell, in their typical calm, relaxed style. And we had some calm and relaxation here in the newsroom.
Packer fans really need to be able to express themselves a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, they got a problem with the personal expression of joy and glee, I believe. But, yeah, I tell you what, this game has been a long time coming, a real long time. Not since the days of Vince Lombardi. Yeah, this guy. Have the Packers won a Super Bowl? However, that changed tonight. Green Bay won its first title since 1968 as the Pat beat New England back in Super Bowl 31 tonight. The game began fast for Brett Favre and the Packers. First play from scrimmage, and Favre finds Andre Rison, and there he is. 54 yards, and he's gone. The touchdown just 3.5 minutes into it. The Packers up by 7. New England, though, would tie the game and then went ahead here on this play. Drew Bledsoe to his tight end, Ben Coates. That's a touchdown. Bill Parcells says goody. 14-10 New England. Would not last. Green Bay rattled off 17 second quarter points. The big play to Antonio Freeman, 81 yards, and they don't catch him. Gone. Touchdown. Pack, though, not done. The kickoff return, and it's the big play kid, Desmond Howard, and he will not stop until he scores. 99 yards for the touchdown goes Desmond Howard, the longest return in Super Bowl history. Howard returned 10 kicks for 244 yards. He gets the MVP. Green Bay gets the World Championship, 35-21, the final.
Have just worked together so good, and I think this victory is just a testament of us hanging together, of us caring about one another.
We had a great season, and we played a tough schedule, and we battled through some injury problems. And I think that in itself is something. We had a fine team, and how we compare with other teams, I'm not even sure I care.
It doesn't matter, though. Green Bay, enjoy the score, folks. 35-21. Brett Favre with 2 touchdown passes. Desmond Howard, the MVP. Now, most of us caught the game on the small screen, but there's one Central Iowan that's seen the Super Bowl up close and personal. Des Moines businessman John Keck is a former NFL referee. He worked the gridiron for 25 years, retiring after this past season, but last year, Keck worked the big game. He was an umpire in Super Bowl 30, the game between Dallas and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Super Bowl, of course, is the height of achievement in the NFL officiating, and certainly was a fantastic experience that we all aspire to.
And we'll have more on John Keck coming up tomorrow right here on News Channel 8. Meantime, the Cyclone wrestling team faced a super test here on Super Sunday. Iowa State squared off against the top-ranked Cowboys of Oklahoma State. OSU coach John Smith's looking for a win as the nation's top team, but ISU's got other ideas. Dwight Hinson at 126 for ISU up against Eric Guerrero rather. Hinson with the takedown, he'd get the decision 5-4. And then at 150, it's Chris Bono in red for Iowa State against Jimmy Arias. And Bono, the takedown, he gets the 11-4 decision, but it's Oklahoma State who wins this duel. 18-15 is the score. Well, this Super Sunday was hardly super for the Iowa women's basketball team. The Hawkeyes played host to Michigan today, a team they had beat 22 straight times. Sounds like a trend to me, but it would not continue, or would it, for head coach Angie Lee and her Hawkeyes? We'll find out. First half, looking inside, it's Amy Herrig, the sophomore, who has the nice move there and scores. Iowa needing some scoring from the backcourt, and they'd find it here from Nadine Damone. She gets the three, but it's not enough as Michigan rallies down the stretch. They'd win it 75-63. Iowa now 4-4 in Big Ten play, and that big winning streak against Michigan is over. Top 25, Colorado dreaming of upsets facing top-ranked Kansas. The Buffs hanging pretty tough. Chauncey Billups, that's good. Colorado led 62-61 in the second half of this game, but the man from Monona, yes, Rafe LaFrance, the Iowa native, comes through. 2 of his 20 points right there. And Kansas wins its 20th, 77-68. The final, number 23, Texas. They're trying to stay in the Big 12 race, and a win against Mizzou today would sure help. The Longhorns got some range. Randy Perriman to 3, and that is money. Texas would win this one, but not by much. 78-74 is the final. Elsewhere in the top 25, Carolina knocks off second-ranked Clemson today, 61-48. Kentucky 10 better than Arkansas. Duke falls to Maryland. Cincy big time over USC. It's Indiana beating Penn State in the Big Ten. Also Marquette over DePaul, 61-49. Last night, Drake basketball lost a tough 13-point defeat to Northern Iowa. One problem, though, for the Bulldogs, they couldn't contain UNI's prized Panther. That would be number 22, Jason Daisy, the senior from Minnesota, has done about it all for UNI. He did it in the second half last night, that's for sure, scoring 17 of his 24 points in the final 20 minutes. Northern Iowa won the game, 81-68.
No, just, same old thing every night. They're just coming out, playing me aggressive, trying to deny me the ball and just playing hard. Knows there's a lot of help, once I start driving and stuff.
He's works hard at the game. I got on him pretty hard at halftime tonight. But the nice thing about it is I feel very comfortable getting on him because I know he cares. But, he's just a wonderful young man to coach and a tremendous talent.
Well, I'm just glad it's his last year and it's his last trip. Obviously, he's a very good player. They clear out a lot of sides for him. He can go one-on-one. He can post. He's just a very good all-around player.
Meantime, Drake tries to rebound from the UNI loss. Bulldogs taking on Evansville Thursday at the Knapp Center. Track and field star Carl Lewis has done it all. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's raced on the blue track over at Drake, so now he's going to hang it up. Lewis says he's going to retire from track and field later this summer. These pictures here are from the '94 Drake Relays, Lewis's last trip here to Des Moines. Lewis won 9 Olympic gold medals and 8 world titles during his career. His final race should be this June in Houston. And from golf, more cheeseheads. You got to love them. We're in Phoenix for the Phoenix Open. Steve Jones, the third-round leader, began at 22 under. He would go even farther under. The birdie there on 15. He finished up with a 67 today at 26 under par for the tournament. That is a new Phoenix Open record. And finally, we go back to football, and both Packer fans, both near and far, are sky high tonight. In fact, one Packer fan who usually has an eye on the sky tonight, instead he watched the green and gold this evening. Yes, our own Curtis Gertz, who gave the Doppler arrest in favor of charting the winds of victory. He witnessed his beloved Packers beat the high pressure, and they won that first Super Bowl in some 30 years. Congratulations, Curtis. We're so proud of you and your Packer backers.
Man, I had to work hard tonight just getting all his forecast done because he didn't have them done, so.
And I had to go find him shoes. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the shoes come off during the Packer games, I guess, right?
Are they going to pay Curtis for tonight? Does he get paid for this? Or?
We'll split it.
Okay.
He was paid in joy of the Packer victory.
We're coming right back with a check on your work week forecast.
The very happy Curtis Gertz is back with one more look.
Notice I never left the weather office.
That's true.
Continually monitoring the accurate, dependable, live Super Doppler forecast. Light snow developing tonight. Low at 4 degrees, east winds at 5 to 10. For tomorrow, windy with blowing snow, falling temperatures, north winds at 15 to 25, wind chills dangerous by late in the day, and tomorrow night very cold, a low at a -9.
Gonna be able to sleep tonight?
No, we're going to go out and have some fun.
Don't forget, News Channel 8 is covering the XL plant explosion at Ottumwa. More with Jason and Janine tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Have a great week.
Interact with News Channel 8 on the World Wide Web at kcci.com. Internet services provided by DWX.